Hello and welcome back to 90's Mags, your home of all things Newcastle United, hosted by two lifelong Newcastle United friends, minus the three, minus AC. Brand new show for you people. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, all that good stuff. As you can see, brand new format, collaboration with NUFC Talk TV. So big up the guys there.
Big up.
Big up Chris and the guys. Jefferson, how you doing?
We're back. We're back. I'm loving it, man. I'm happy to be back. Had a lovely break. It's good to go on hiatus and hit the ground running, man. I've missed you actually. I've missed you online.
Yeah, man, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. I see a couple of people in the chat already. Forever Football, Mason, Mighty Mags, Benjamin, all ready to go. Yeah, man, a lot to get through. Funny enough, it's never a dull moment with Newcastle United. The preseason's underway. There's a lot of drama behind the scenes. So, yeah, let's get started, man. Let's get started.
Not much to cover then.
Yeah, that's it. But first of all, are you excited for the new season? As it stands, are you excited for the new season?
I'm still listen. We're all waiting for that Champions League music to hit. So the fact that we're in Champions League, it means you are going to be by default excited for this season. So yeah, I'm up for it. I'm up for it.
Yeah, yeah. Me personally, I at the moment I am still up. I'm excited. I've still got a trip to St James's Park before the season starts. Going to the Cellar Cup, bringing my boy there for his first trip to St James's. Got him. His birthday's in August. So I've got him a Newcastle kit. His Newcastle kit with Isak at the back, so I might regret it. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah. But yeah, we'll start from the top. We've got the pre-seasons underway. I know we had a behind closed doors friendly. Was it last week? I think we won that comfortably. But the nitty gritty got underway. Is it yesterday? We played up to Glasgow. We played Celtic. I think quite a few Toon Army fans did the travelling. I heard something like 10,000. Yeah, mad. But the Toon Army supports anyhow they travel. So one of the best around. But yeah, it didn't really go as expected or as hoped.
Kante's a menace. He's at it already.
Oh God,
this
big
guy.
Up Kante. Big up Kante.
big up. And win, mate. You got cooked earlier. You got cooked, mate.
Well, we'll get to winning his comments a bit later. Calm down, man. It's not that serious, mate. But big up Kante as well.
It looks like people are excited we're back, D-man. That's what it is.
I'll take it as a compliment, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, let's not sugarcoat it. We got slapped 4-0. We got slapped 4-0 by Celtic, which isn't the best result. But in their defence, Celtic have started their preseason early. They're a couple of weeks ahead. I think they had a good win against someone in Spain. I think a Spanish team. I think they maybe Valencia or someone like that. They had a good win, so their fitness is a bit better than ours. But they're a bit more up to speed. But first of all, the big news was obviously Isak was left out of the squad. He didn't travel. The lineup was a bit mixed, but Osula got his chance up front. I'm not sure if you saw what you thought about the lineup when you saw it. Any thoughts on that?
Sorry, say that again.
The lineup, because Isak was missing.
You know what? The lineup had obviously a slight familiar look to it in parts, but listen, we know that Eddie will go with what's available, and I knew that he would make said changes at halftime. But I thought it was somewhat a positive lineup, seeing the likes of sort of Barnes, Murphy, and Osula starting. Bruno in the heart of midfield, which really we haven't seen regularly since not last season, the season before. And obviously there was that whole thing about Botman being heavily strapped up and struggling to walk around. He looked fine, but it was good to see him in the lineup as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't expect us to field our strongest lineup. I did like the fact that Osula got his chance up front. And yeah, it was a bit of a mix and match. Obviously, Elanga was on the bench. But yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to field a strong 11, the strongest 11, should I say. Obviously, we couldn't with a few injuries and stuff. But yeah, so the game gets underway. I only saw a few highlights in it. I didn't see the game live, but we looked at a bit lively when the game started. We created a couple half chances, but It gave away a silly penalty, isn't it? Was it Willock that gave it away?
Yeah, ended up tripping him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen.
Shame because I think the way we started off, we were pressing really well. Actually, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Celtic coped well in possession, but they did look like they were under pressure at the start. So that sort of mistake undone all our work, unfortunately.
Big up Scants in the building. Asking if
Big
I'm
up,
well stood.
Scans.
Yeah. Check out Enemy Lines, by the way. It's a brand new podcast with
Sick.
a mix and match of fans, should I say. Apparently, I got fried the last time we was on. It was like
I
a
do
five on
feel
one.
for Scants, you know. I know we're going off topic, but by the way, watchers, we do this. We do random jump arounds. We will get back onto it. But I remember seeing Scants on another, you know, the other pod that you're on. Oh my god.
What? Red Pitch podcast.
No, the other pod.
Geordie Dread.
Geordie Dread's podcast,
Yeah.
yeah. And I feel sorry for Scants, man. You lot always jumping on man. Like
Well, listen.
he
Well,
needs a hot tag. He needs a hot tag.
no, but he got
That's
his
what he
own back
needs.
on Enemy Lines the other day because he was on my neck. Yeah, he was on my neck for the whole session. Yeah, it was
Well done,
bit quiet.
Scants. Putting him down a peg or two. Oh,
Yeah, it's all right.
wrong
It's all
one.
right.
There we go.
Big up DBNUC in the building as well. He said,
Big up, big up, big up.
not buying the preseason narrative. We were poor and it's a mess. Well, we'll summarize at the end. But yeah, listen, it was a shambolic result. The only way is up in it. We can only get better. But yeah, we go 1-0 down. The penalty. And I think it was was it the second goal? Nick Pope?
I
Was
mean,
that the
come
one?
on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, he misjudges the ball, but it's just like it's
it's just it's so fitting the fact that it's him that's made the error when there's all this speculation about Trafford, how we missed out on Trafford, which we'll get to, by the way. But it's just, listen, I can't defend that, innit? Like, what were you doing? What were you doing, bro?
you couldn't make it up. I mean, it was a bad mistake. The only thing I would say, and it's probably from Target being a bit rusty, he's a little too high up the pitch because sometimes you've got to kind of track back and just estimate something might happen.
Yeah.
But keeper was in no man's land and then misjudges it. Crazy. Nick,
Thanks,
no
Mason.
hope.
Yeah. Thanks, Mason, letting us know they beat Sporting 2-0 on Wednesday. Yeah, so I knew they beat someone, a foreign team, but it was a decent team. But yeah, 2-0. Brain fart by Nick Pope gave me little flashbacks of the Liverpool game when he's come out rushing and he's gone down and he's handballed. Obviously, got sent off Mr. Cup final and stuff. But yeah, not the best of times for Nick Pope. But yeah, and then the third goal, what was the third goal? Oh, when he squared it in the second, when he squared it across the box in the second half.
Yeah.
We got cut open. The midfield got cut open by about 3 passes from back to front, and then he squared it across and unmarked at the back post, 3-0.
Well, you know what? Just to touch on, before the second half, what I did notice a couple of good things, and there was a couple of patterns of play where, for the first half, looked completely different to the second half, where they're popping it about a bit, and I noticed Bruno was getting into space and doing diagonal balls, which was interesting because Barnes and Murphy were getting into space. Barnes and Murphy looked a legitimate threat, especially Barnes. But they made some key blocks and key interceptions. And Osula was a threat as well. He was looking to run through. Trusty should have actually had a red card, but it's a friendly.
Friendly, yeah.
There was one where he was running through and he just took him out on the halfway. So that first half, there were some encouraging signs. It was just defensively, we weren't at the races, to be honest with you.
I see the McKenzie family, Nick Pope with the world-class header. Listen, as long as he gets that nonsense out of the way pre-season, then fair enough in it. But that's the time to do it. Get out your system. Focus when the season starts. We can't have that come the first game of the season against Aston Villa. Like, no, can't have that. Can't have that. But yeah, and then the fourth goal I think was the header, wasn't it? The header left the keeper planted.
Yeah, I mean he outjumps Murphy, so I'm not going to be harsh on Murphy because he's a young boy, he's a young lad, and actually Murphy was probably one of the, as in Alex Murphy was one of the more encouraging players in the second half. But when that sort of thing happens, and I'm talking from having the odd Saturday league experience here, it's mostly Sunday league. If you're the fullback, right, and you're tracking your man, all you're going to do is cross over. So you need to make the call and say, man coming in, you leave him, you drop off, the centre back picks him up because he was never going to out jump the guy. So I think defending in sixes and sevens there again, but heads are dropped by that point. I think.
Yeah. Big up, Bulky, one of your fans, Jefferson. He said, "So glad to have Jefferson talking sense. Get your mum on."
Oi. we were going at it earlier today, so he surely got his feet up watching this with a cup of tea, and I'm back at it. But yeah, big
Big
up,
up,
Loki.
big up, Cav as well from the Red Pitch podcast.
Big up,
Another very
big up.
good podcast. Him and Scants, they do their weekly show. One to check out as well. But yeah, listen. What was your thoughts on Elanga? Because I know we came on the second half and that. What were your thoughts on his performance?
I think it was encouraging at times because he looked like he was actually trying to beat a man, and he did on occasions. He showed his electric pace, which we're fully aware of. It was just at times that final ball. I think he did put in one decent cross, but it was just that final ball, and I just think those kind of things will come with time. Certain patterns of play. He knows on the break, whether he's getting it from Gibbs White, if he puts it low in the box, Wood's going to be there. He has to get used to being in a new team. So, and I think by the point we got into full swing in the second half, we had young Joe White playing through the middle as well at times.
Yeah.
Because I noticed like before Osula came off, he was sort of drifting out that way. So yeah, I think he did okay. I think he did okay.
What's your thoughts on the Elanga transfer? 'Cause I know we haven't really spoke online about it. What's your thoughts on the Elanga transfer in itself?
Listen, I think we may have slightly overpaid, just slightly, anything between 5 and 10 mil. However, I just think we're so desperate to get a cover in, for that rotation for right wing that we had to put the money down. So I'm happy that the club did that. And he's coachable. He's young enough. He's got a good relationship with Isak, so he is an international. He's no mug. And in terms of assists, I think he had was it 11 assists in the
Yeah.
Premier League last season. So I think he's got a ceiling to build on. So it's by no means a mug. I think it's a decent signing there.
Yeah, I personally I like the signing. Obviously, I know he wasn't our first choice, but like I said, he got 11 assists. I think that was the third highest after Salah and Murphy in the league. I think he scored 6 goals as well. And he brings something different to Murphy. Obviously, Murphy, we know he likes to go down the wing and cross it over with his right foot. Elanga can use both feet. He can cut inside. He can go on the outside. And I think his ability to cut inside will free up Tino on the right hand side. His runs bursting down because I think where Murphy kind of hogs the byline, it kind of limits the flowing football, the attacking football from the right back. I think Elanga cutting inside at times will give freedom to Tino. And what I like is his enthusiasm as well. It seems like he really wanted to be here. Like he's here and he loves it. He feels like he's already at home, whatever. Like I said, he's got the relationship with Isak. He knows Kraft. He knows quite a few people in the squad already. So I think that relationship's already there. But let's see. It'd be interesting to see when he becomes the starter, because we know Eddie Howe likes to bed them in, take time to bed them in, and probably respect the loyalty to Murphy for how he performed last season. So Murphy will probably start the first few games until he starts having maybe a down patch. Then Elanga will come in, or if he gets injured and stuff like that. So be interested to see. But yeah, I'm happy that we've addressed that side. We'll get to the rest of our transfer activity or lack of in a bit. But yeah, big up DBNT NUFC said a defence still containing Pope, Trippier, Share, Lascelles ain't challenged for
Yeah,
nothing next season.
yeah. It was like Dad's army. It was like Dad's army. Do you know what I mean? There was a real lack of speed, and it shows how much Tino, and obviously Lewis Hall when he was fit, but particularly Tino is important to that back line, because it just looked at times like Celtic were moving at light speed and we were moving in quicksand. And I
Yeah.
don't think that's anything to do with fitness. I just think that they had pace and we didn't.
Well, that's the thing. We lack, especially centre back position. We lack pace. Like it's tragic, and obviously the age. Dan Burn, Fabian Scher. We know Botman will come in and be a regular, but Dan Burn and Scher, as good as they are, they're a year older, a year slower. They're not going to get quicker. You know what I mean? We could get exposed by teams quite a lot this season if we don't address it. Which I know we're trying to address, but we need to hurry up. Again, we'll get to. But I know the McKenzie family. You asked what are your thoughts on Osula being the main man. What are your thoughts on that? Because I know you've been championing him to get more minutes, and I know a few as well that have been asking the same thing. Do you think he's going to get Well, do you think we're going to sign a support striker for Isak anyway, or do you think there's a chance that he could be used as the main, cover for Isak and get the more money that you think he should get?
I mean, it's very, very difficult to tell because obviously, he didn't play the full 90. What I did see in terms of Osula is that it's everything we've been crying out for from before, that he is a threat. He stretches the line. So it did look like, particularly on Murphy's side, when he ran the channels, there was an outlet to play the ball forward. And when there was a few times Bruno played it long, there's somebody there to chase for it. I think Cher played a few over the top as well, actually, and one of them went directly to Osula because he's actually quite quick. He held the ball up well, so it gives time for the team to come up. So you've got that option of a direct route because he's got pace, he's got strength as well. He brings others into play, and I think Barnes was really enjoying that. So there could be more to come. But the downside is, I think he connected with about 3 headers, and I think only one of them went on target. So it's just that lack of clinical finishing. You've got to hit the target essentially. That's where I would criticize him, but I saw some positives there. Believe it or not, I actually saw some positives. Um, and in terms of getting someone in, I think it could go to the wire for that one. I
Yeah.
really do. I do think we'll get someone, even if it's like if we put money down on Mateta or someone like that. I do think we'll get someone, but I think it's going to go to the wire, man.
Well, there is a name that's been floating around that I'm not going to mention because I don't want to put it out into existence. But there's a lot of rival fans say there's a certain man on a free transfer that we're probably going to end up with. But
Ah, no
let's not mention
way.
his name. Let's not mention his name. 'Cause I'm not going to put that
Oh
energy out there.
man.
But now,
Just
big
to
up
say
Queen of
big up
Hearts.
Queen. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
man.
right. Big up, locked
She's
in.
come to the dark side.
Yeah, man. Welcome, welcome.
Dark side of the force.
But William said Elanga should start around Christmas. I don't know if that's banter or not, Rav, or you're serious. Because listen, we cannot wait. We cannot wait 4 months before this brother gets a start. Like, but I get it because the way Eddie Howe moves, you know how with his loyalty, like he's stubborn. Like I hope he's changed, and I hope the fact that Elanga's got Premier experience will mean that he's going to start a lot quicker than that. But listen, Murphy could start like a house on fire. You know what I mean?
This
So
is it. This is
and
it.
force Eddie's hands to keep him in the starting lineup. So you never know. You never know. But yeah, let's get to the big up Waffle Locked In as well.
Big up, big
Waffle
up, big
Don.
up.
Another one to check out his show. And listen, he's prolific with his content, man. Every day he's doing something, whether it's during the day, whether in the evening, every day without a fail. So check that out as well. Waffle Don TV, great content as well. Yeah, let's get to the elephant in the room, innit? A certain Alexander Isak. Now, obviously, everyone knows he didn't play yesterday, which most people expected anyway. He didn't travel. Now, it went from managing minutes to what was the word? Uh, you know, same injury. Same as Joe Linton and Tino and that whatever. Then it went to Eddie Howe saying, you know, he's committed to the club. He's 100%. But although we can't guarantee 100% every players will 100 definitely stay. He's committed to the club. He loves being here, and he expects him here to be next season. Then it went to I sent him home because of the speculation surrounding him, and it wasn't good. Yeah. So it's 3 different things that's been said. Yeah, in the space of what, an hour, 2 hours. Yeah, and the tune seems to have changed now. Then there's stuff about PIF won't accept anything less than they won't expect 150 million. So now they're putting a price, suggesting there's a price tag for him. Yeah,
150. Told
yeah.
ya.
150 minimum. They said they wouldn't send it for 150. That's the starting negotiation.
Okay.
But the fact is,
Okay.
before it was not for sale, then it's we ain't accepting 150. Needed higher. Then there's rumors that Saudi are going to come in for him. Al Hilal are going to come for him for a record bid. Yeah. The Liverpool rumors are circling. The fans are getting gassed. Big up Scants. Big up D Dubs. All of them. Yeah. They're circling like vultures. Right.
Blimmin' heck.
But what's your take on the whole situation and how it's been managed as well?
Yeah. It's difficult because if he has come with the squad, that means he's willingly come. Yeah. There was a photo with Isak and a little kid spotted at the hotel. So he came to watch the game. So it's not like he's like, you know what, boss, I need time out. Like my head's frazzled, right? Long and short of it is, apparently it's Eddie that's sent him home, right? Or back to the hotel. And what that does is it forces people to try and read between the lines. It creates more controversy. I think it's a case of, the young South Korean player that we've signed. I don't know his name. If anyone knows his name, put it in the chat. He was sat in the crowd. So actually, they could have maybe even had Isak sat with him, just to calm things a bit. He's watching the game. So what? What you know? I think he had the groin injury towards the back end of the last season. Apparently, had a minor operation, so his recovery is going to be different to the rest of the squads. Um, so I don't think we've handled the situation very well. I think we've added some fans to the flames there, but however, we don't know what's been gone on behind closed doors. Um, Maybe Eddie, someone with conviction that actually he's either protecting the boy or there has been sort of some discussions going on where he felt right. That's the best thing to do. I don't know what you think about it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement that I don't think they've handled the situation that well. Um, Listen, the way Eddie talks anyway, he's not one that says things. He's very cryptic. I don't say he's cryptic, but sometimes he can say things and it's complete opposite. Yeah. But, the fact that he said, I expect him to be here next season. He loves the club, whatever. He said the same thing about Miggy before he got sold. Yeah. So this is what he does. He leaves things up for speculation because he's not very honest with his talk. And I think it's deliberate. Yeah. But he must know that the fact that he said three different things is going to set tongues wagging like ferociously, right? And not only just Newcastle fans, but the moment he said it, I checked social media, they just jumped on it.
Yeah.
And you're getting all these independent journals or in the nose or the Liverpool thing based, whatever I talk about. It's Isak that asks to go home. Why would he not play? Why wouldn't he be in the stands and stuff like that? About the injury because he was doing the whole, what was he doing in the camp with in the sea? What was it? What do they call it? The rafting thing or whatever he was doing on the boat.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Okay. Yeah.
they're making it, putting two together, coming at five. Now, I'm not saying there's anything in it, but it leaves everything up to speculation. Now, listen, I don't expect Isak to come out and say, I'm not going anywhere, I love the club, whatever. But I think there's ways they could have handled it, especially when the moment they knew he wasn't going to be with the rest of the team. I think say one thing and stick to it. Yeah, don't change the story or leave things up to speculation, and get because it doesn't help anything. Because you're saying you're trying to protect him, but you've kind of made things worse. You know what I mean? So now it will. I suppose it'll be quite telling if he's on the plane to, is it Korea that we're going to? Is it tomorrow? I think we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he's on the plane, that might help settle a few things. It doesn't mean that he's 100% committed, but it just means that at least there's some sort of like something to go on, something positive to go on. Because right about now, like I'm the biggest one that's saying he's not going anywhere, right? And I made a video. By the way, check out D-Man TV, my new channel, which I started as well, for your Newcastle content and football content. But I said on there, I'm happy at the way the team handled the club, handled it with a not for sale stance. The fact that they forced Liverpool to go to TK, whatever. We've been very adamant he's not for sale. Now, maybe that's not a change. That's not changed. I know Luke Edwards came out with a tweet today saying, "I'm not gonna say for the I'm gonna say for the last time, no matter who, don't believe these people fan the flame, whatever. He's going nowhere, not for this summer." But this is Luke Edwards. I think the club feed him nonsense anyway. So you know what I mean. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. He ain't solid. He
I
ain't
can't really
solid.
take too much from that. But I'm nervous, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm nervous because look, anything's possible, and the fact that he hasn't accepted whether we've offered or he hasn't taken the new contract. There's speculation that Mitchell declined to offer him the new contract, the 4-year extension that he wanted, or a 4-year contract what he wanted. Obviously he's gone, but now apparently he's disappointed how the club handles things, whatever. Why is there not a new contract signed? That's the thing that kind of, maybe they're still working on it in the background. We don't know, but
Could be the amount of money he's asking for, which, although he deserves it, would absolutely maybe shatter our wage structure. But I think the key indicators for me is this Man United and trying to steal Jokeres from Arsenal's situation, and also kind of it looks like they're kind of not asked about it. Like they're kind of stepping back a bit, which does that mean they're going to do the counter offensive? And then Liverpool, we need to watch them in terms of are they able to sell the likes of Diaz and
And
Nunes, because
Nunes.
that will give them the extra capital they need to be able to buy
That's the
Isak.
thing. I don't think
That will be the problem. I think
I,
we see that.
I don't think need to be concerned about Arsenal. I'm adamant Arsenal can't afford him. Yeah, I don't think they can afford him. But Liverpool, like you said, if they sell their assets in Nunes and Diaz, then that gives them the extra to go for Isak. But to me, that means that it was pointless signing Ekitike. Yeah, Ekitike, because at the end of the day, he doesn't, as much as he wants to come to Liverpool. Are you really happy to go and be second fiddle again? You had that at PSG when you couldn't get a game. This time you're not. I know there's a lot of football that Liverpool are going to play. They're going to play more football than us throughout the season, probably. But is that enough for you to think? Because you made all this fuss to get him, and you're going to trump it again. Now the club won't care, because then if they can get Isak, they'll get Isak. But from his point of view, like, well, what did I sign for? Like, I've come to be the main man at Liverpool. Like, I don't know. Maybe Liverpool
I
wait
mean,
a summer.
he's a Jota replacement. God bless his soul.
Don't go. They need two strikers. Liverpool do
Yeah,
need
they,
two
they
strikers.
definitely need it. And
But
remember, Salah, as good as he is, we're entering into the twilight. I think he's still gonna have a great season this season, but I think he's got two strong seasons left in him.
yeah, but at the same time, I don't
Definitely
think.
done
Yeah, but you can't. I don't think any of them are really productive on the right hand side. If you can say drop it to the left, then fair enough. But them two play. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. Again, it depends on Newcastle, our stance, and if we're going to stand strong. And if Isak's, because the only way it changes for me is that if Isak hands in a transfer request. And if you asked me last week, I say that's it's no way happening. But the events that's happened over the weekend, it leaves things up to that a bit of doubt. But we'll see, man. Big up Lominus in the building. He said, if Isak wants to leave, can we blame him? His club sold him dreams, and we keep getting rejected because this coach hasn't got the pull, and now Eddie and his cousin are in control. No Mitchell,
I
no
said that
excuses. Well,
earlier on NUFC Talk TV. I literally said exactly the same thing.
we'll talk about that in a minute, because the whole transfer debacle, because it is looking a bit, I say
It's an
shambolic, but
amateur operation. Yeah, it's running like a League Two club. Let's be real. Yeah, let's be real. Let's
Queen
be real.
says the transfer market rumor train went insane. I was on a lot of different chat forums. They were having absolute overdriven convos about Isak, Man U, and Liverpool, just two clubs to call out. And it's true. Like, listen, but again, maybe the club don't pay attention to social media or whatever, but they know that the fans do. Yeah, and they would have known the effect of the way they've handled it would have. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they're confident that Isak's going to stay no matter what, or they're just not going to sell him. But at the moment, I'm still confident he stays, but I'm not as confident as I was a few days ago. You know what I mean? So time will tell, man. Time will tell. But he's not the only. Oh, we've got Mackenzie said, I thought Isak would never leave, but if we don't bring in players to show what we are, that we're ambitious, I don't blame him if he does. Now,
Yeah,
to be fair, that's a fair comment, because not only that, like it sends a bad message to the fans and a bad message to the rest of the squad. If we're not showing the ambition, then Tonali, Bruno, they'll be next. Even the likes of Tino, might be next. We'll lose all our great players, because at the end of the day, the way I see it, Botman, Tino, Hall, Tonali, Bruno, Isak, yeah, Elanga now that he signed, 7 players. We have to keep Elanga. Listen, Elanga's a signing, so I don't expect to. Let's see what we can do first. I'm going to put him in the category for now, because he just arrived, did it? I'm not selling him after a season, bro. That's long. Yeah,
you
but
has been drinking with wind.
no. But I'm just saying. Listen, the fact we just bought him for 55 million. I'm not on this selling him in a season later. That's long, but we have to show those players that we're serious. If we're going to keep them, if we're going to build, yeah, why are we going to weaken ourselves in a Champions League season? Like, we saw it happen like a couple of seasons ago. We didn't have the strength and depth. Why are we going to go into another season weaker than we are end of last season? It doesn't make no sense.
I mean, without being prompted by Boki there, I could just see Boki's comment there. I was thinking, yeah, when am I going to get to this? So now I've just seen this. It's like I might as well get to it. We have to ask ourselves, where are the standards? Where are the standards? And we talked about it on this channel, and you and AC were on side with me. and I talked about it on NUFC Talk TV as well, that, the power play that happened, right, was at the detriment of the club. And, promoting your nephew to be head of recruitment, right, is not the one. And I think they're all out of their depth, quite personally. The size of the club is growing. Success breeds success. And so being a Champions League club, finishing twice in 3 seasons in the in a Champions League qualifying position, thereby breeds expectation. And that's not being unrealistic. So you have to deliver. Yeah. So it's all on, you know, Eddie and his cronies, right? They have to deliver. Simple as.
Before,
Um, be-
God.
because they got rid of the director of football. Technically two directors of football, actually. If you count Ashworth, people will say, "Oh, Ashworth was touted by Man United," but why was he? Because he probably felt he had no say. He wasn't happy, right? So it's becoming more and more evident. It's a situation we've almost cut off our noses to spite our face. And listen, I will happily put my hands up and say I was wrong if lots of big name or reputable players come through the door. But right now, people have every right to be asking questions, kicking and screaming, and quite frankly, being frustrated and upset.
Big up D Dubs in the building. He says, has he tapped out in terms of Isak? If you don't know, D Dubs is a Liverpool fan. Yeah. And he's another one that's been on my neck as well about this whole Isak thing. Yeah. And literally, I wouldn't mind if Isak left, right? But he can't go Liverpool. Yeah. For the simple reason that D Dubs and Scant, I will never hit the end of it. Right. There is no way. Yeah. I'll go missing. 90's man could have to shut down for 6 months, bro, because I'll go missing. Yeah? The way these two carry on, it's ridiculous. Yeah. But look, no ambition showing in the window. That's why he ain't signed a new deal. Listen, they going like they know Isak personally, They going like they know Isak personally, get him on nerves. But big up anyway, big up to them too. But
It's
yeah,
a common thing though, isn't it? If you remember famously, was it Rooney in 2010 after Ronaldo and Tevez left? He knocked on Fergie's door saying, "Yo, where's the signings? Like, I'm the only geezer that's around here." Now, I'm not saying that's gone on with Isak, but when you see yourself as almost a world superstar, you're expecting to see some quality come in, particularly when he's put his body on the line for us because the coach persisted with Callum Wilson, knowing he wasn't fit, right? So,
yeah.
Isak wants probably some support so he can be rotated. It's not too much to ask for, is it?
No, I mean I see we linked to another striker today. I forgot the name. I'll find it again in a
From a
minute.
friend, is he from Nice or something?
Yeah, yeah. DB said we need to do a Tottenham and sell Isak abroad next year, if anything, and I 100% agree. I've been telling everyone I think he will go next summer with the likes of Bayern, Barca, PSG maybe coming through. Wrong, you never know, but don't sell him to another Premier League team. Yeah, my heart can't take it, man. It makes no sense. Big up Specs in the building as
Big
well.
up,
Big up
Specs.
Sophie B as well. She said evening as well.
Yo.
Yeah, every time I say that Arsenal can't afford Isak, Cav from the Red Pitch podcast, he pipes up, yeah, but we can afford him. Bro, you can't afford him. That's why you go for Djokovic, yeah? and you're bartering over that fee as well. So come on, man, let's not do this, man. But yeah, man, keep the lights coming in. There's a lot of comments as well. But yeah, my whole take on it, yeah, I agree with you in the sense that, listen, the fact we've got no director of football is a big hindrance to us, right? We're going into these deals with one hand tied behind the back, and the fact that we've got Andy and Eddie handling negotiations ain't a good look. It's not a good look. And it's a wonder. Remember, look how long it took to get Elanga over the line. Yeah. So imagine if we narrow in on another target, how long that's going to take? Because we've seen what happened with the João Pedro team. We missed out on him. Now the whole director of football thing. Did you see the comment? I don't know if it's a genuine comment, but I heard that Eddie Howe was surprised that Paul Mitchell left. Brother, you lot was at war from day
Bullshit.
one. You was at war from day
Bullshit.
one. Yeah. So, and my thing is, why are people still saying Eddie needs support? The board need to back him. Hold on,
What is that? What is that
we
about?
bidded 70 million for Ekitike. Yeah, we bidded 60 or 50, whatever it was for João Pedro. They're giving him the funds to do it. Yeah, but somewhere along the line, someone is messing shit up. Yeah. And it's not the board, fam. It's not the board. Because we were told Eddie's now handling negotiations with his nephew. Yeah? Nepotism, by the way, but that's
It's,
another
it's,
story.
it's the
But
cult trying to find excuses. Yeah. But some of them are starting to wake up.
yeah.
Like Queenie here. Yeah. They're starting to wake up.
Listen, but he's still being strong in it. He's been the fight. He's still showing about his frustration about the lack of transfer activity. But who's he frustrated with? Someone needs to ask him, who you're frustrated with, bro? Is it your nephew? Yeah, because as far as we know, he's handling negotiations because apparently he got the praise for getting the Elanga deal over the line. Well, he needs to be criticised when stuff ain't working. Because there's another target. I want to get your thoughts on this one as well. I'll read through a few comments as well. But James Trafford, yeah, because I want to know your thoughts on this because listen, we all know that Newcastle were after this guy for longer than a year. Yeah. And then we started, some would say Burnley moved the goalpost, whatever, but we wouldn't pay the asking for the fee, whatever. Apparently he wanted to join. Personal terms were agreed from last year. Now all of a sudden, it's deja vu. Another club's come in and stolen him, which is going to be Manchester City. Now they had a buyback clause on him, so maybe that's something to do with it. But it's another failed attempt at getting someone through the door because we're dilly-dallying basically. Yeah. But I know you weren't James Trafford's biggest fan anyway. So what's your thoughts on the whole thing with James Trafford?
It's like a step back into the archives, isn't it? Because I could have sworn it was episode 2 or episode 3. We were literally talking about James Trafford, weren't we? And I think we all agreed that look, he's not at the standard required. So I don't even know why we were chasing this boy. Um, I don't know what maybe the stats people were saying that maybe his trajectory was on the up. But as we saw of his poor performances when he was in the Premier League, and we're a Champions League club chasing a championship goalkeeper, something didn't quite add up to me. Obviously, it's ended up being the ultimate insult that he's ended up not coming, but someone screwed up somewhere. So, on the basis that he was a key target identified by Eddie, you're expecting a slam dunk. Like, you got to get that one over the line. If you really want him, pay for him because, like I said, we slightly overpaid for Elanga, in my opinion, slightly. So you would basically do the same for Trafford. If we're desperate to get him in, we pay that 40 million, whatever they were asking. So it's back to the drawing board because does that mean we then don't look to go for another keeper? Considering I know we've got, is it 5 at the club, by the way? And John Ruddy signed on, so he ain't going nowhere. So someone's got to get shifted. But after seeing Pope yesterday, does that then mean Eddie's going to pursue someone else? Are we going to pay the money for Chevalier, who I think should have been the primary target anyway? I mean, the thing is, D-Man, when we had my man, what's his name, Mitchell at the club, right? There
Yeah.
was like a 2-day difference, went there. We went from going to Garcia for going to Trafford, and that coincided with Mitchell going on gardening leave.
Yeah.
Now, again, all we had to do was pay the 21 mil. People are going to say he wanted to go Barca. No, no. He wanted to go Barca because we took so damn long. If we just paid the 21 mil, we would have him. And then boom, on to the next one. But because of the coach's stubbornness, he wanted Trafford. But for some reason, as again, we lowballed and we didn't stump up the cash. So
Well, Specs, big up Specs as well. Geordie Dread TV. I know a lot of you know his content as well, so check that out as well. But he said, "Who is doing negotiations and the funds to give, is to blame to whoever's doing negotiations, but it's not Eddie." So to Specs, who do you think it is?
who is it, bro?
Who do you
It
think
ain't
is
the
doing
board, mate.
negotiations? Yeah, because it's not the board.
It's
Yeah,
his nephew. It's his nephew. And you don't think he's on the blower? Hey, uncle, what do you reckon? Another 5 million? Yeah, go on. Of course he is.
but all right.
Come on now.
Adrian said at boardroom level, our club looks a mess and agreed because we ain't even got a CEO. Am I right? We ain't got a CEO yet?
Yeah, no CEO.
No
No
CEO,
DOF.
no DOF. Basically, there's a gap between the chairman. It goes the chairman, Eddie Howe and his nephew. Like, where's the goal between? Like, this is a shambles. And again, we're going into a Champions League season, yeah, where we're meant to be building. And what is Eddie going to perform miracles again? Because I tell you what, we're not getting top 4. And like, so you see what Chelsea are doing. You know, Arsenal going to be there, City and Liverpool. Yeah. Then you're looking at 5th at best, but other teams have started to do their thing as well. So we need to act fast, right? But do you think? Oh, wait, Chris has come with the content. D-man, we all know what stops players coming here. It's Eddie Howe. He has no pull. Why are you like? To be fair, that's what I was going to ask. do you think there's something behind that in the sense
I've
that
not paid these people. I'm just saying, innit?
no? Okay,
I've not paid anyone.
so do you think there's something in that people say don't want to play for
Of
Eddie Howe?
course, bruv. Listen, I asked Chris earlier today. No one could answer it because the truth hurts. If we had the likes of Roberto Mancini, Antonio Conte, Jose Mourinho at the helm, do you honestly think we'd be having problems with transfers? No. Like, we've got an amateur operation ongoing caused by the manager's power play, and that's factual, yeah? And then on top of that, no one knows the guy outside the UK shores. Do you know what I mean? If I'm a top Champions League player, so that's why the director of football role is important. Because again, I'm not going to disrespect the manager. Yes, having a larger pool is helpful. It makes transfers way easier, right? But there needs to be a proper director of football to sell the vision of the club. And so what we had before was Mandy. She was able to do that. She was able to convince players that look, we're going to win the Premier League in 5 years. We want to win the Champions League. Blah 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 blah.
So please give me joy.
Where's the inspiration? Where's the
Lot,
inspiration?
lots of things can look a mess and be organized chaos. Listen, not in this club, mate. Organized chaos don't exist in our club. It's
That's
literally just
being
chaos.
kind.
It's chaos. But DV said, why would top class players want to join a mess? No CEO, no director of football, no strategy, agent centre backs. Listen, I saw someone put the average age of like our back line, including the keepers. It's a mess, bro. Like Pope, the
Sentiment.
Bradcar,
Too much
Oddy,
sentiment.
Ruddy, Burn, shit. Like this is a mad Lascelles. That's 7 players, bro. The average age of our squad must be about 45, bro. It's a madness, bro.
Dad's army, mate. It reminds me a lot of remember under Kenny
No,
Dalglish.
don't do it. Don't do it, Justin.
It's
Don't,
true though.
don't,
We had
don't,
Ian Rush,
don't do
John
it.
Barnes,
Don't do it.
John Beresford, Stuart Pearce. We had like old men in the team, innit?
We had Ian Rush as our striker. John Barnes was our top scorer with 6 goals.
Mad, mad, right? But this is what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with the manager having said I did. It's just you need someone else to kind of volley checks and balances. So someone to basically tell you, you know what, mate, maybe that's not a good idea. Should we go with this? Or where can we meet in the middle? But if you've just got one person with absolute power, you're unchecked, innit? So
What's that Kanye West line? No one man should have all that power. But then, all right, moving on now. What positions do you think we need to address, like, as a priority? Yeah, in your opinion.
listen, right centre back. Right centre back. Preferably someone with pace. So the last I heard, Diamande has not signed for Palace yet, has he? So we need to steal a march on someone like that, or Tap Soba from Leverkusen would be great. I do think we need a left central midfielder, someone to provide competition, genuine competition for Joe Linton in terms of someone that can actually utilise the ball. We know that Willock is a runner. He was trying to make overlapping runs yesterday, but his usage of the ball isn't good enough. When we're going to be in the Champions League and we're going to have to hold on to the ball, we're going to need someone adept in possession. So you're looking at maybe a more expensive profile like Edison, a cheaper profile like Javi Guerra. So I think left central midfield, and then I also think a backup striker. We definitely need someone that Isak can rotate with, or if, as rumoured, if Eddie wants to go 4-4-2, someone to play alongside him.
In terms of the backup striker, what are your thoughts on Visser? We
I
looked
think
at
he's
him.
too. I think he's too old, unfortunately, because he's going to be 29 by the start of the season. So, what happens when he's 31? You know, and then
Okay.
you've paid 50 or 60 million for him. You're not going to get that money back. So we got to be wiser.
How
But
much? How much? How much?
well, I think Brentford wanted at least 50 million for him. They
Oh,
want to be compensated,
they're
isn't it?
smoking, bro.
So,
They're smoking. There's no way that
yeah.
no one's paying that for him. But I'll put it to the chat then that some decent alternatives for a backup striker and a right centre back. Who do you think we should target? But I agree though. A right centre back is a priority. One with pace. Yeah, because that back line is the centre back is slow as hell. I swear I'm quicker than them. Like they it's not the one. Like You can't. And listen, I
Uh,
hope Botman can last the season injury free. Yeah, maybe you have to manage his minutes and stuff. But listen, we need him in that back line. We need Botman in that back line. And the sooner we get Tino back and Lewis Hall, the better. That will bring the pace of our back line. Even if the centre backs are slow, you know what I mean. The full backs, you know what I mean. They can compensate in some way, shape, or form. Um, William, the recruitment team must be reading the art of the deal. Yeah. And then Adrian said, "When I fault." Um,
Big up Adrian, by the way.
big up Adrian as well. Yeah, but
Following us from day one.
yeah, man. Scat said the current squad, sixth or seventh, is incoming. Um, well, to the Newcastle fans, would you be happy the top six finished, or do you think this is the time where we have to get Champions League football every season? You know what I mean? Because if we're going to build, if we're going to attract a certain caliber player, we can't be seen as a team that's just going to flirt with the Champions League every other season or every 2 or 3 years. We have to be there. Maybe I'm not saying challenge for the actual trophy, but we need to be one of them consistent teams in the Champions League. If we're going to build the revenue, the attraction to other players. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. Um, left side of midfield. Who would you take? A realistic option. Have you got anyone in mind?
Yeah, I just think, unfortunately, it depends how much money we got in the kitty and how desperate we are. But I think those two options, particularly I mentioned earlier, Edison. Again, we were talking about this a year ago.
Mm.
Us two and AC. Edison, I think the price has maybe slightly come down. Maybe you're looking at that 50 million range, but maybe for around 30 million, we could get Javi Guerra, because what I like about him is he's got what Willock's got, which is legs. He's got box to box. I think he's about 6'1", 6'2", so he's not small. So he's got a bit of power, but he's got that little bit of quality when you get to the edge of the box. He can pass the ball really well. So I would like Javi Guerra, because as we know, Valencia are always struggling for money. So they'd be game for an offer, I reckon.
Okay. So Lominus asks, do you guys think back in Eddie's vision instead of Paul Mitchell, who is proven sporting director, will cost us this season? Um, it's a tough one because from what we are to understand, whether it's true or not, Paul Mitchell didn't help himself. Like, first of all, we know he doesn't stay. His CV suggests he doesn't stay in a role long enough, right? But he came in. It seemed like a bull in a china shop. We know his comments. The previous was not fit for purpose. The transfer strategy was not fit for purpose. Whether it is the selling
Do
of
you agree
players,
with that, D-Man? Do you agree with it?
yes, I do, in the sense that we're bad sellers. We're bad sellers, yeah, and we need to get better at that. Have we improved with the likes of getting rid of Miggy, Longstaff, who we'll talk about in a minute, Longstaff, Kelly? In that respect, maybe we've got a bit better, but yeah, I agree. We haven't been, and also we've got ourselves in that PSR mess as well. So you know what, you can't argue with his comments. But then there was stuff about he was throwing his weight around, giving it the big I am, whatever. Maybe because of his CV, we don't know. And he clashed with, we don't know. We know he clashed with Eddie. Yeah. So you can't have you can't have the director of football clashing with the manager because it's not going to work. But there should be some sort of compromise on both sides, and I do believe that we know Eddie's stubborn. Yeah. So it's probably, and I've said it before. Once we qualify for the Champions League, they had that meeting straight after the match, and he's
Hmm.
gone to and I believe he said, "I've done what I've needed to do with no funds. Yeah, I'm in a position of power. Get rid of him. Yeah, I can't work under these conditions. Let me work, whatever." Now he's gone now, and from what we can see, they've backed him financially, so it's now on his shoulders to deliver. Yeah, he's not blameless in everything. So if we underperform and we don't get played through the door, there is no one, as far as I'm concerned, there's no one else to blame but him. You know what I mean? Him and his nephew. Yeah, because they're the ones in charge now. Now, yes, we need to get a direct football in, but what's the point in
What's the
getting one in?
point?
You know what I
I,
mean?
I think what's the point? Because if it's in the previous format, they're just going to argue with the manager and go again, right? But in the current format, I don't know if you saw it, D-Man. Uh, Andy Howe, I think, is head of recruitment. You've got Steve Nixon and his role, and then they've got Jack Ross in there. I think it's like head of football operations or something. So essentially, between them, they're all doing the job what a director of football will be doing combined, and yet they've advertised for a sporting director. So there's still a sporting director to come in. So I want to know what role they're going to do if they've got these guys underneath them, or supposedly underneath them, doing all this stuff already. Which makes me think, will they just be a puppet? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Big up Christopher. He said, when you have a takeover, you do one or two things. You hire a top manager to attract players to get better results, or you hire a top director of football who can convince
Yep.
players to join Newcastle.
Yep.
So are you saying that we've done neither? Or that we tried to do it the director of football way and it hasn't worked? What's your thoughts, Christopher? Let us know.
Mm.
Yeah. And it will be interesting to see who actually comes in to be that director for and the CEO. I think we've been linked to the Forest one, and some others as well. I'm not
Big
sure.
up Mason. Big up
Big
Mason.
up Mason, locked in as well.
In the group with him, he talks sense.
Um, Matteo said this window is supposed to make us. If it goes wrong, it delays us by 2 years. I
Mm.
agree. This is meant to be
Right.
our biggest window. Remember, Eddie Howe came out and said, A, there's no PSI issues. B, we need to act fast, right? And let's be honest, one signing through the door by the time pre-season has started is not what any of us expected, and it's not good enough. So the club, whether it's him or someone, has to take responsibility for that. Yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, they need to get 2 more players in before the end of the month. If that doesn't happen, I think our season's screwed. Yeah, I could use stronger words, but I'm not going to say I think our season will be screwed. Yeah, and then you're going to start talking about internal problems and bickering and players demotivated and stuff. You're going to see a lot.
D-man, December, mate. December is the one. Yeah? If we're struggling in Champions League and we are more than 6 points off top 4,
You think he's
changes
good?
need
You think,
changes need to be
but
made,
do you think he
mate.
will get the chop? Because I think he'll still get the season. I think.
But why? Why? When the stakes are so high that we need the revenue off the pitch. So unless there's any sponsorship deals, our only way of doing that is through revenue via Champions League qualification, because even Europa League doesn't give you that much money. So, and I know it's competition is stiff, but if things get tight and there's still a chance to qualify, having a fresh person in with a chance of being able to sign players in January can rescue your season.
Okay. Keep the comments
Obviously,
coming in before.
obviously, just saying,
Yeah.
we don't want it to come like before people start vilifying me. We don't want it to come to that, but I'm just saying it's something we need to keep an eye on.
Okay. Now keep the lights coming in as well. Appreciate the comments as well. Craven has said he's giving a suggestion. Samu Agahawa as a decent option. Interesting.
Big up Connor. I just seen him in there.
So Chris said Howe doesn't want the squad, want a deep squad to compete. He wants a family to back him up, so he won't get sacked.
Is this Tiger with a new name?
Could there be something in it? We don't know. We don't know. Big up Benjamin. He said if we can attract top players with Champions League this season, God help us if we're in Europa or whatever. So basically, if we can't attract top players with Champions League this season, God help us if we're in Europa or whatever. And that's an interesting point because I can't understand why. Listen. We're in the Champions League. Like I said, we're in the Champions League. We've got top quality players. Yeah. Why can we not attract? Is it because listen, we can't offer the wages that the bigger clubs can offer? The fact that the likes of João Pedro wants to stay in London or live in London, yeah. So there's that factor as well. Is it the fact that people don't believe that we're going to be competing for top trophies? Like, what do you think it is, or is it the main fact is Eddie Howe? Is he hasn't got the pull? Like, if you was to rank some of those, what would you say was the top reason that we kind of try
I
to
just
get?
think there's no one to sell the vision of the club. I think it's fallen a bit flat. And I think the board is slightly responsible on the basis that, there's been no sponsorship deal announcements, nothing about the new stadium. And I just feel like we've lost a bit of momentum, let alone traction off the pitch. And I think, it's the ribbons on top and all the gold dust and that. I think players come into a club want to see that we're on the up. Um, and despite that trophy win, I'm not sure if people are fully convinced. Do you have you seen Kante? Have you seen what you see
No,
what he's saying?
what's he said?
I want you should deal with that one.
Is it? I have to get to it.
He's trying to pitch Jimenez to us.
Oh, listen, bruv. Stop the Jimenez talk. That's why I originally ignored it, because he asked if we were going to take him. No. Listen, we're not taking him in there. So we'll take the other guy. We'll take the other guy. What's his name? Muniz.
Muniz.
Yeah,
Take Muniz, yeah.
yeah. How about that? We'll take him.
Muniz would be decent, you know.
Yeah. Adrian, has Man City APT case been put in a cryogenic to sleep? Well, listen, there was rumours that they were only going to get a 3-point deduction and a record fine, but I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. But I know their commercial, their case against the Premier League is still in the balance, and if they win that, which I thought they won already, but if they win that, that could open the door for Newcastle to spend the money to get the commercial sponsors in.
Allow it, bruv.
I don't listen. We'll get this guy to the minute, but how do you pronounce this? Hugh? Yeah, he's also a good option. I don't know who that is.
Where's he from? Let's check it out.
DB said, we are actually weaker now with Wilson on and Longstaff gone. Do we appreciate how bad this is, guys?
Danish.
We're going to talk. Yeah, we're going to talk about Longstaff shortly before we end the show and that. But listen, my belief is the fact that we have lost Wilson and Longstaff, the club know they have to be replaced. Yeah, and I fail to believe we're going to go into a new season without a support striker and without another midfield cover, because there's even talk that Miley wants to go because of the lack of first team football. Yeah, and I know Palace are sniffing around him. So listen, we need midfield cover, but mainly we need a backup striker if we're going to keep Isak, because I cannot believe we're going to allow Isak to go in and have 2 striker roles to fill. Yeah, because I don't trust this club or Eddie Howe to spend that money correctly if Isak was to go for whatever 150 million. So we'll see, but I've got to stay confident that we're going to get the job done. So William said the structure won't be correct until Eddie Howe is gone. Is that your burner, Jefferson? Is that your burner? Is that your burner?
Nothing to do with me, bro. Listen, I'll let these brothers take the hits for me because I think I've taken enough over the time, boy.
Quick. Eddie wants to direct the football in quick so he can blame someone else.
Connor, any news updates? You're the guy with the news updates. Let's bring some hot news flash whilst you're on here. Anything new you got cooking up?
D does. Magpie Media's posted about an article in which Isak agent has spoken about the situation. All right, fill me in then. What's he said? Yeah, because listen, I fail to believe if it's all negative. I don't think you can take much into that. But let me know what he says in it. Scants with his famous quote, "Every 3 days, not for everyone." Listen, that was our last season campaign in the Champions League. Yeah, we know that we need squad depth, and I think we will address it.
Can I just say though, one good thing, because I know we're gearing up towards the end, want to touch on a couple of positives. Number one was good to see Travis Hearns come on. He didn't have that much impact to the game, but I'm happy to see that he's gone on loan, played adult football in Denmark, and then come back to us. He's come on. Alex Murphy was one of the few bright spots, not so much defensively because I think he was slightly at fault for the 4th goal. But I've got a couple of stats here from Alex Murphy. So he played 47 minutes, had 42 touches, 22 out of 25 passes completed, 4 ground duels won, 3 recoveries, 2 fouls won, and 1 big chance created. That was that big old cross that went to Osula, and Osula got a toe on it. So yeah, he was one of the few bright spots because I didn't know he could play left back, by the way. I thought he was just a centre back. So, and I think there was a comment someone put about if a striker doesn't come in. I think if we're really desperate, I actually think, because Eddie's obsessed with Gordon being this false 9, I actually think we could play Barnes there, you know. I think if we get desperate, because Barnes is a better finisher, could end up being a blessing in disguise, and you could still have Gordon on the left side and have Barnes as that second striker, maybe.
Okay. Big up, Benjamin. Yeah, my son's 5 years old, so he can't have a pint or a Coke. But yeah, I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it.
And it's good he's coming to a home game because he always gets you in trouble when you go away, doesn't he?
Yeah, trust me. The last, I can't do that again because it'll get me killed this time. But yeah, we're going to the Atletico Madrid game. But he did say to me on Monday, he said to me, "Oh, Daddy, is Isak going Liverpool?" And I said, "No." So I was like laughing. I said, "No." And then obviously, I think it was Wednesday, the news came out Liverpool considering an approach ever. So I told him, and he went, "Just to let you know, if Isak goes to Liverpool, so do I." I said, "Listen, you must want to sleep outside, bruv. That's not happening." I said, "There's going to be no Liverpool supporting fans in my house. You're mad. Yeah, absolutely not." I already got it bad because my twin brother's a Liverpool fan. I do a radio show in a D&D Footy Factory with 2 Liverpool fans, and then I'm in a group chat with Scant and D Dubs and that. It's nah, man. Enough's enough, man.
They're all around you, man. It's like Red
Um,
October. I've actually got something from Connor. So he was quick on the buzzer with that. So he's got a report where Mitchell's agent has spoken about a few things. So
Isak,
the
isn't
the summary, yeah. So the summary about that was the club and Mitchell offered Isak 180 grand a week contract in December, but Isak wanted more. Mitchell and Isak's agent then both decided to wait till the end of the season to then offer a better deal, as we had already offered Gordon his new deal. Mitchell left the club not sacked because he couldn't work with controlling Eddie and had a different vision for the club. Eels leaving was also a factor. Mitchell wanted to build revenue at the club and wanted to sell one of the big players to reinvest in the squad. So thanks for sending that through, Connor.
So which big player did he want to sell?
I mean, that would be interesting.
Listen, just
Yeah.
pay Isak what he wants in it. Yeah, just pay him what he wants and figure out the rest after that. Because listen, we cannot afford to leave this guy this summer. We can't. We can't. Christopher said, "Right now, I see no future till we clear house and start again. I'm sorry. Thank you, Eddie, for what you've done. But this means and Celtic didn't hire Eddie, his nephew, and it's Crowley's time to go, Bruv,
That was me after we got smashed by Bournemouth. I was just like, I've had enough.
Adrian said, we seem unable to tap into the sweet spot of players in between.
We need to get this brother on. We need to
Well,
get this brother on. Christopher, right? Is it Christopher?
yeah, and Adrian as well.
Oh,
But yeah, as Queenie said, hit up the likes, help the channel grow. It does indeed. But yeah, man. Before we sign off, I want to get your thoughts on the sale of Sean Longstaff. Yeah, because long serving player. We had a lot to say on him last season. And I still blame Eddie because he was playing him when Tonali was sitting on the bench. But what's your thoughts? It's sad to see him go, or are you happy that he's getting an opportunity elsewhere? Like, what's your thoughts on Longstaff?
listen, I think it's a sale has been on the cards for a while, you know, and we saw towards the back end of last season, particularly that second half, he wasn't really getting any minutes anyway. And he's come to that age where, he's 27, 27, 28. He's at the peak of his career. So he needs to be getting more starts, more games. Some people argue he's a championship player. Some people say he's a bottom half player. Some people say he's a bottom six player. So you know what? Leeds have got money. They've got a decent chance of staying up. He adds a bit of quality and Premier League experience for them. 15 million is a fair fee for us. So listen, played 200 games for us. So he was one of our own. He was a servant of the club. So, really wish him well. But it's one of those ones where I think, he should have gone last season. And this is the kind of sentiment that we're on about. But listen, we wish him well.
Big up Kim Cam in the building. She said,
Big up,
even D man and even in Jefferson.
big up, big up.
Connor said, Spanish reports reporting that we've held talks with Tarrega. I think he was the one on the list of 3 that was leaked the other day.
Who's leaking this stuff?
But this is the thing, because
They should be shot, mate, because they're killing us out here.
to be fair, like you said, we normally keep our targets close to the chest, and all of a sudden, like everything's getting leaked. Maybe it's a deliberate ploy. I don't know. D-Dub in the article is revealing any details regarding whether Isak will transfer or stay with Newcastle. But there's a quote he said, "We are indeed studying and analysing all options, and we may be close to finalising the next step for the player." I don't know if that's a new contract or if it's he's out the door. I don't know. Yeah, but
I just think happy medium is you get the new contract in, you put the minimum release clause in there. That way, the club is guaranteed, to be compensated.
big up Derek. He said, out of 10, will we keep Isak? He reckons it's 4 out of 10.
Ay, ay, ay.
At the moment, I'm going to say 6, but it seems to be waning every day. But like I said, I'm on enemy lines next tomorrow, so I'm going to have to, back my chat. So, yeah, it's going to be. But yeah, in terms of Longstaff, listen, long starts at 7-7 of the club, boyhood. Got he won a trophy. Fulfilled his dream winning a trophy with his boyhood club. So he scored some important goals, made some huge memories. The goal against PSG to name one of them.
Two semi-final goals in the League Cup a couple
You
of
know,
years ago.
you know what I mean. So listen, am I sad to see him go? No. But but listen, I can't begrudge the career that he's had with Newcastle. Been important. There was a point, I think, was it the season when we qualified for Champions, or the season after when, when he got injured, we just started losing all those games because he was an important cog in the team before Tonali arrived. So listen, he's done the club proud, and I'm happy that he's getting a Premier League move. For his sake, I hope Leeds don't get relegated. But listen, and credit to him for not wanting to run down his contract because he wanted Newcastle to get a fee for him. It helps our PSR. I think the fact that we sold it for 12 million with 3 million add-ons means we can spend an extra 50 million or something like that.
Yeah, pure profit in it because
Yeah,
he's an academy product.
whether we'd actually spend that because no one wants to come to the club remains to be seen. But
I
listen,
don't want to see the likes of Gallagher coming in, man.
no,
It's
we don't
just
need another
like
workhorse. We don't need another
this
workhorse.
is the problem. You see, this is the problem.
Derek, he said, "How days are numbered if we lose Isak and we fail to significant."
You know what this is? This is a big compliment. It's like all the goons have been waiting for us to come back on air, innit? Like they're
It's
all
like
coming out now.
you've rounded them up,
This
bro.
this
You've
is the
rounded them
safe
up.
haven for you people.
Listen,
Make sure you join us every week.
it's a free speech, isn't it? Like you can give your. I never expected so many people to be against this, brother. Like
Where have you guys been, man? When these lot are all coming for me, man, the cult were coming for me hard. Where were you people? Damn.
we
Well,
must be tearing the hair
the
out, man.
cavalry's arrived. It wouldn't surprise me if Win still ain't here, man.
But nah, listen, I think that's a good place to end it. Thank you all for joining in with the comments. Don't forget to share it with your people. Like the video. We've got obviously the collaboration with NUFC Talk TV. So you'll see one of myself or Jefferson on their show from time to time, if not both of us. Again, check out my own personal channel, D-Man TV. I'm also on Enemy Lines twice a week as well. But yeah, man, it's been fun, man. It's been fun. Big up
It's been
Jose
great.
Lockton
It's
as
been
well.
great
It's
being
been
back.
great,
Yeah,
man.
oh yeah, Jose's come now. Yeah, people are coming through, man. It's just, you know what, D man, it's just great to be back. You know, it's good to have that break, recalibrate, and big up Chris for for helping us out here. Yeah, definitely injected some impetus for us to crack on, and we're just excited for the season ahead. Obviously, we've got a big transfer window. We're gonna have some guests coming on, won't we, D man, at some point as well.
Yeah.
So more great content to come.
Enjoy. So until then, we'll be back probably. Next, well, we'll be back soon in it because I'm on holiday next Sunday, but we might be out before that. Just we might want to do a show. You never know. But yeah, man, keep the channel growing. Get the lights coming in. We need more members of the 90's Banks Army. And until next time, we'll see you later. Peace.
Peace.